Millions of people are going to open an AI chatbot in the next 10 minutes. I mean, you probably use one today, right? But here is the impossible paradox unfolding right in front of us in 2026. People are actively using a technology they genuinely believe is making the world a worse place. So let's dive right into this explainer and look at the data, the economics, and the physical reality of a technological shift that is quite literally dividing a nation. Okay, look at this number for a second. Only 16%. Half of America is using AI right now, yet a shockingly low 16% actually believe it's going to be good for society. Think about how crazy that is. Normally, familiarity builds trust, right? You use a product, you figure it out, you start to like it. But AI, it's completely broken that rule. What we're looking at here is literally the lowest optimism ever recorded for a major technology launch, even while the adoption numbers are just absolutely soaring. So there's this massive disconnect happening. The creators out in Silicon Valley, they're calling this humanity's greatest breakthrough. They're picturing this beautiful future of effortless living. But the actual public using it, they're describing something closer to a hostage situation. And you can see why. People feel like they have absolutely no choice but to use it, mostly because it's just being baked right into our daily web searches, our work software, and even our kids' school assignments. So the crucial point we really need to uncover here is this. Exactly how did the fastest adopted tech of our entire lifetime manage to trigger such a massive bipartisan public backlash? How did a tool that was supposed to liberate us end up creating so much widespread anxiety and resentment? Well, to figure that out, we have to look at who is actually taking the first hit. Which brings us to part one, the utopian promise. You know, for a solid decade, we were promised this amazing utopia where AI would just wipe out all our boring work. We naturally assumed that younger people, the digital natives, would be the biggest cheerleaders for this new era. But wow, the data completely shatters that assumption. The heaviest users, Americans under 30, are actually the angriest. A whopping 47% of them say AI does way more harm than good. Think about the irony here. They're using it to help with school and beef up their resumes, but at the same time, they're watching this exact technology they're training start to replace the very careers they're trying to build. That takes us to part two, the entry-level call. And listen, this resentment isn't just paranoia, it's mathematically verifiable. When big companies like Shopify forcibly mandated AI use, having reflexive AI just became the new baseline. And the employment impact of that, it's genuinely staggering. Revelio Labs tracked a 35% drop in entry-level job postings. ADP payroll data shows young software and customer support roles have dropped by 13%. But here's the really interesting part. Roles for workers over 30 have stayed totally stable. It's the people just trying to get their foot in the door who are facing this massive call. As Stanford economist Eric Brynjolfsson discovered, it all really boils down to one single corporate decision. Are you using AI to support a worker, or are you using it to replace them? When AI completely takes over those tasks at the bottom of the pay scale, the entry-level door doesn't just close, it entirely vanishes. Fresh graduates aren't losing out to somebody with a better resume anymore. They're losing to a machine. The job simply doesn't exist. Moving on to part three, the physical cost. Now, the threat actually doesn't just stay online. It escalates directly into our physical reality. We always kind of think of the cloud as this magical floating digital ether, right? But it's actually made of steel, concrete, and massive screaming fans. Get this. AI data centers are now burning through 183 terawatt hours of electricity every single year. To put that insane number into perspective, that matches the entire country's power use for making steel, cement, aluminum, and chemicals combined. Every single time you query a chatbot, it burns roughly 10 times the power of a normal web search. And guess what? The billion-dollar costs of upgrading our power grids to handle this, those are being passed right down to the American consumer. And this insatiable demand has some very intense real-world consequences. It's caused these grid-shocking power surges in places like Northern Virginia, where 1,500 megawatts just vanished in seconds. And because the local power grids literally cannot keep up, companies like xAI have been prompted to rapidly deploy dozens of polluting gas turbines in Memphis, totally bypassing standard environmental permits. It's basically sparked all-out battles over basic human resources in communities that never even asked for this infrastructure in the first place. Oh, and then there is the water. You wouldn't believe this, but training just one AI model consumes millions of liters of fresh water. Just generating a short 100-word email response takes about a full bottle of water to cool the servers. It's wild. This is leaving everyday residents in places like Newton County, Georgia, dealing with literally brown tap water because their local aquifers are being drained. Plus, they're facing utility bills that are spiking by up to 33%, essentially just to subsidize the cooling systems for tech giant servers. This whole situation brilliantly illustrates how much this conflict is escalating. Even when cities try to fight back, like when the city council in Tucson unanimously voted to block a massive desert data center, the developers just find loopholes. They just go and buy land right outside the city limits and sike in millions of gallons of water anyway. The local community explicitly says no, and the project just completely routes around them.
Let's look at part 4, the automated economy.
We'll see how this all connects, because the battles over entry-level jobs, our electricity grids, and our local water supplies, they aren't just isolated incidents. They all lead back to one hidden, unstoppable mechanism. Tech executives are openly pouring trillions of dollars into building a fully automated economy. The ultimate goal here is a self-sustaining loop. Automated factories produce robots, which then go mine metals to build more data centers to train even smarter AI. As Elon Musk so famously called it, it's the infinite money glitch. But when you really step back and look at that loop, you realize what is actually being built here. The philosopher Alex O'Connor puts it like this. He warns that we are essentially birthing a mechanical species. Think about it. It has a life cycle. It absolutely requires energy, land, and water to survive. And as it grows, it's going to inevitably and directly compete with humanity for our habitat, our fresh water, and our solar energy.
We are basically growing systems with entirely alien drives. O'Connor compares it to the soldiers of an ant queen. These are systems that might be completely 100% indifferent to human concepts like art, love, or what it means to have a flourishing society. It's not that they hate us, they just don't care. They will ruthlessly harvest our writing, our artwork, our water, and our land without asking for permission, simply because doing so serves their programmed drive to expand. And this leads us to our final part, 2 Americas.
This creeping existential realization has actually unified the country in an incredibly rare bipartisan pushback. Well over 70% of Americans agree that AI is just moving way too fast. I mean, look at these numbers here. 68% of Republicans and 77% of Democrats. In a country that is divided on almost literally everything else, we have a massive bipartisan majority saying the government is doing way too little to protect them from an industry that is rapidly changing their lives without ever asking for permission. And the public, they aren't just complaining on the internet anymore. They are showing up at town halls. They are actively protesting. In less than a year, everyday public resistance has successfully delayed or straight up blocked $64 billion in data center projects. As of today, 71% of Americans actively oppose having an AI data center built anywhere near their homes. So we are now irrevocably split into 2 Americas. On one side, we have the builders out in Silicon Valley. And honestly, they're genuinely shocked by this backlash because they truly believe they're delivering a technological utopia. But on the other side, we have the public, that 84% who lack optimism, who actually have to live with the physical and economic consequences of being part of this massive, unconsenting experiment. Which really leaves us with the most chilling question of our time. And this isn't even about algorithms or chatbots anymore. It's a profound warning about power and trust. When the people building your future completely stop listening to the people who actually have to live in it, what happens next?